The Bone.
Yeah.
Let's talk, dude.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Episode number 7.
Damn.
It flies.
Episode number 7.
It was like number 1 yesterday.
Number 1 doesn't feel real. Number 1 was a fake, and number 2, fake episodes.
All of them. They
Fake
all feel
episodes.
fake. Every time we end the episode, we have no clue what we talk about. We have to go back and re-listen.
Bro, all right. I'm kind of going into a quick. We'll run it back, but I kind of want to get into it. But like growth mindset, fixed mindset, like challenging yourself, getting better. We'll dive into it, whatever. Think about the first episode and think about right now. Day by day, you see no changes, but when you look back on it, everything is different.
Okay. So I have a question written down here. Okay. And this is a question that I thought I was going to ask later in the podcast, but I'm just going to start off with it. What is growth? Because we talk about growth often, and like Kaizen, 1% better each day. Okay, cool. Got it. Zach and Cesco, we already listened to that. What is growth?
Kaizen,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah, 1% better.
But what is better?
That's what I'm
That's the
saying.
thing.
That's what I'm asking. What is better?
What is growth? What is better? If growth is getting better, I don't know. I have no opinion.
I think, okay, I'm going to share mine. I think that growth is extreme humbleness. Meaning, growth can only exist when we realize that where we are can be enhanced in some way. Or where we are is not a final product. And we're never going to be a final product. So by getting super humble with where we are, we're recognizing that there is room for more.
Accepting. You want to accept
Where you are. Yeah.
So being present.
Being present, but it goes deeper than that. It goes more into like, I know. Okay, this is a quote. It goes, the more I learn, the less I know. I'll say it again. The more I learn, the less I know. Who said that? I forgot off the top of my head.
I have no idea.
But
what?
Yeah. Okay. So the more I learn, meaning the more books you read, the more conversations you have, the more perspectives you take in, the less I know.
But what is knowing then? Like how do you know less?
Knowing is, Socrates said it best. Knowing is
not
knowing.
knowing.
Exactly.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
That makes sense then.
I know that I know nothing.
Ooh.
This is a perfect segue into today's conversation: growth versus fixed mindset.
Yeah, dude. Let's talk about it.
I'm so excited for this one.
This is huge, though. This is, like, important in a sense of, like, you don't want to be stuck in the same position. Like, I look at it in a perspective of, like, being hungry. Like, I want to wake up and just be a fucking animal. Like, I just want to attack every single day. I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to be, like, stale, if that makes sense. I want to know that I'm going towards something and I'm progressing towards something.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Like the image that you just created in my mind was a lion, because I think that my spirit animal is a lion in a way. Right?
It's funny to say, but I think mine's an English bulldog, which I mean, I don't know how that could.
All right, but hey, I mean, an English bulldog. I mean, they can get out. They can get after it.
It's me, dude.
It is.
Are you shitting me?
Okay, it is. It is. But they're hungry.
Yeah. All right, a wolf.
A wolf, a lion, whatever furry animal you want to be.
A
right?
carnivore?
All right.
Mr. Vegetarian.
Let's not. Let's not get into that.
All right, whatever. But yeah, bro, like just like
okay,
I
so
want to be the best. But like I know what the best is without even knowing what the best is.
What
like,
is the best?
just progression, just progression. Like
What is progression?
Practicing my craft with the most amount of effort that I could put towards it.
Okay, so that you're getting into something. Effort.
Effort.
So instead of being the best, why don't we just take the best effort? Why don't we just put the
most
perfect effort?
The most effort you can.
Right. Like, you don't, like, there's this fallacy that you have to wake up at 100% battery every single day. And that's just not true.
Negative.
Like, you can wake up at 70% battery and give 100% of that 70%.
100%.
So,
I saw a quote and it was like, if you feel weird waking up and still being tired, don't. Because 90% of the population feels like that. It's okay to feel like that. Like not wanting to get out of bed, getting 8+ hours of sleep and still feeling like you slept 2 hours.
what do you do anyways, though?
You get after it.
Right. And
You
that's
get
the
your shit done.
that's the animalistic side of things, is what you're referring to.
Yeah. Like it needs to be done.
Why does it need to be done?
In my opinion, for like maybe my mental state, I don't know. Maybe it's my ego of like wanting to be the top of what I'm doing.
Okay. Wanting to be the best.
Yeah, essentially. But like we always used to say it in football, playing football, like winning the championships, whatever. Like if you're at the top of the mountain, you always have a target on your back. Like, oh, somebody's always trying to take you down. Somebody's always trying to be better than you. Fuck that. Nah, I'm staying here, and I'm doing whatever it takes to stay here. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I would argue, though, that there's never a top to the mountain. Like, there's no summit.
Exactly, but that's why I'm staying here, because I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep putting that work in. I'm going to keep growing, because when you reach the top, you're fixed. If you think the top is the top, you're in a fixed mindset.
When you feel like you've reached a top,
yeah.
Like when you feel like you've reached a specific best or end knowledge
Exactly.
point.
Because it's like, if you've reached that, going into the definition of a fixed mindset, did you write down key terms off the definition?
A fixed mindset means that your intelligence is limited. You think that your intelligence is limited.
Exactly. There was another point on Google, not accepting challenges anymore. You're not willing to challenge yourself anymore. Screw that. It's practice versus, what was practice versus process?
Yeah.
It's a practice.
Dude.
You wake up every day and practice what you love to progress in it. There's no outcome. Because when there is an outcome, that's when it's fixed. And that's when, bringing it back to whatever podcast, that's when we have hope.
Oh.
And when we don't reach this outcome, it's like, I've lost hope. But no, you could have a goal of continuing to practice, but there's not going to be a point in time where it's like, in 10 years, I want it to be here, but I'm not. It's okay. You know what I'm saying?
So valuing the everyday in and out practice of doing something over the end result of actually getting there.
Boom. Exactly.
Because is there ever an end result?
In my opinion, no.
In my opinion, no as well.
End is death. We talked about that. All right, dude. Of our physical form.
Okay,
you just gave me the look.
I just gave Cesco a dirty look.
Of our physical form. All right, I gave you a dirty look earlier with the vegetarian thing, but whatever.
All right.
I deserve that one.
We're even now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're touching on some good things here. Now, the important thing that I want to bring up is not just talking about what a fixed mindset is, but also letting the audience know what a growth mindset really is. And it's really just the opposite of fixed. So growth mindset means that you believe your intelligence and talents can be developed over time. Okay, I have a couple points that I want to bring up within this definition itself. First off, intelligence and talents. Who defines intelligence and talents? Who defines that?
IQ tests? EQ tests?
Okay, true. Quantitatively, there are measures out there that can define that.
But then you could be like, street smarts, whatever street smarts is.
Right.
Business smarts, whatever that is.
Right.
Fitness smarts. There's there's so many vast majorities of what intelligence is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And talents.
So you have a perception of my talent. Another good friend of mine, our whole inner circle, right?
Yeah.
We're a part of the same inner circle. All of our guy friends, all of our girlfriends, everything. Everybody has a perception of what each other's talents are. And each of those perceptions could be different from your own perception. So at the end of the day, what really, really matters is it yourself and your own perceptions of your talents, or is it a combination of that and others that
Yourself.
you're close to?
Yourself. My opinion, yourself. Say it 1,000 more times. You're put in this world alone. You're out of it alone. It's you. Be selflessly selfish. You know what I mean? Like when you start thinking about what other people perceive your talents to be, or just anything of you, like the outsiders, that's when it's like, oh, maybe I'm not doing this right. Oh, maybe I'm not doing this right. Ooh, I don't care. My talent is my talent, and I know my talent, and I know what it takes for me to become more talented. But when you start, it becomes interactional. It's like, oh, but this person might think this person might think this. That's when we overthink. That's when we get anxious.
Paralysis by analysis.
Damn. Where did that come from?
That just came off the dome, to be honest.
Yeah.
I learned that in a sports psych class that I took.
Yeah, but yeah. Say it again. Paralysis.
Paralysis by analysis.
Paralysis by analysis.
But break it down. Paralysis, you're unable to move, unable to think, possibly, or a combination of both. By analysis, so meaning you're thinking too much that you can't move, or you're thinking too much that you paralyze yourself from performing at your highest level.
100%. That's when you overthink. You get anxious.
I see.
In my opinion.
So at the end of the day, it's important to gather feedback from your closest friends and family members. But this is where I was going. But at the end of the day, your own perception of you is what ultimately matters, because it is your life in your own skin.
Yes.
Nobody sees the world from you.
Exactly.
Nobody. We forget that.
Yeah.
And I think we value the opinions of other people
way too much
on a higher scale than we value the opinions of ourselves. But have we also looked in the mirror and have been truly honest with ourselves? Are we truly honest of the fact that we could be limiting ourselves because we think we know? Because we think we know the answer, we're limiting ourselves and reinforcing a fixed mindset, and we're not allowing ourselves to engage in some of the mindfulness, self-reflective, meditative processes that bring about a true form of enlightenment.
Yeah. And I think the next comment I'm about to make kind of contradicts myself, because I just said, like, the only thing that matters is the way you perceive yourself. But at the same time, it does depend on who your circle is. Yeah. And you mentioned feedback, and we have to make sure that that is constructive feedback compared to...
There's a way to get feedback.
There is a way to get feedback to progress, compared to, like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. That could be opinion. Mm-hmm. But when it's constructive, it's like, you did this really well, but this maybe could use some work. Think about it. Reflect on it. Like that's constructive feedback.
So constructive feedback is a combination of two things: informational and motivational feedback. We learned about this in class. So, like, when you have informational feedback, you're simply observing what happened and giving them tips and tricks that they could do informationally, educationally, that they can do to perhaps enhance their skill level. However, a motivational feedback is much different than that. You're acknowledging that the knowledge part is really important, but at the same time, you're being a human being. Like, you're actually being there for them.
Exactly.
And you're encouraging them. So a combination of both motivational and informational feedback equals constructive feedback. And I think it's highly, highly overlooked.
Underrated, overlooked.
Overlooked, underrated. that these two components, both of them, not one or the other, not one but the other. No, and like that and word needs to be incorporated there.
And I think our job as future physical therapists and future sports psychologists, performance psychologists, is to embrace that and learn how to give constructive feedback. But in our world as an individual, outside of like professionalism, it, like I said earlier, it's our job to surround yourself with people that give you constructive feedback. And I think when that happens, it's easier to have a growth mindset, because when you surround yourself with people that not necessarily give you that constructive feedback, it's like, screw what that guy says, screw what she says. What I'm doing is working, what I'm doing is right. But at the end of the day, that's a fixed mindset. If you're not going to take other people's opinions when they're truly there for you and truly trying to make you better, then you're kind of like in the middle of like, what's growth, what's fixed.
I think what you just touched upon is more of like an externally oriented fixed mindset, meaning you're allowing the opinions and reflections of other people to impact how you perceive yourself, and your perception of yourself is now being convoluted and manipulated in your own mind. So you tell yourself that either one, I'm going to listen to what they say, everything that they say, and use it as all truth, or you completely deny what they say and say, I'm good, which is what you talked about.
Yeah, that's why it's tough. There's a fine line, I think. There's a fine
line between like externally oriented versus internally oriented constructive feedback.
Exactly. And what to take as like truth and what to take as like, oh, no, I know for a fact that this is right, but I'm going to use that other opinion that he said.
Oh, that's okay. So now we're getting into like filters.
Yeah, bro. It's super important.
Like,
it's super
like
important.
What if everyone could have that filter? Like, what if everyone just had a filter in their brain that just sorted information as it was being given to them?
But
right?
I think it comes with experience. That filter develops when you get experience.
Experience, okay, I agree. But let's make it very clear that experience alone does not do the trick. You need to have experience and reflect on that experience. You need to reflect on that experience with others that also reflect on their experience.
100%.
So experience doesn't create wisdom. Your reflection of that experience creates the wisdom. And by having wisdom, you realize that you know jack shit. You know nothing.
Yo, that was like...
Did that just go full circle?
That was one of the deepest things you said that like I understood. You know how I get that haze in my eyes? I get lost? Yeah. That was like, I followed everywhere. Like, that was good. That was really good. But like, I'm not gonna like say people's names. But in one of our what's our Doc T class in the morning?
Therapeutic prescriptions.
One of the exercises that an individual went over was not good. It wasn't. It leads to injury.
Okay.
And like, there's studies done, and there's a reason why, because it puts your joint. It's like literally the test of an impingement for that joint. I'm not going to say the joint because I don't want people to know who it is.
Right.
And like,
it was just false. Yeah.
So I know like that is not, like, I could step away and be like, nope, I'm not going to do that. Even if you think it's going to help somebody, I know it's not from research.
I see.
So like, that filter has come again.
That's an educational filter.
Exactly. But I've reflected on it. I've used it in my own life. You know what I'm saying?
So okay. I see what you're saying, and it makes complete sense. But I think there's more dimensions. Meaning that dimension plus another dimension and another dimension make up a complete truth filter. A filter is what I'm like talking about.
Okay.
To construct this filter, there's like the fact-based, like knowledge-based filter, right? Because filters aren't just like one sheet of cloth. It's like a sheet and another sheet and another layer and another layer. You ever see like those?
Like a big rock goes through and then like the little rocks.
Yeah,
like going for gold.
Kind of off topic. They came out like these shower heads where like it has like big pebble like in the nozzle leading out through the tube.
Big pebbles, small
it's got
pebbles.
big, small. Yeah, exactly. So I'm talking about like those pebbles within the shower head itself.
Yeah.
If you can, audience, if you could kind of picture what I'm talking about with that shower head, or even just any sort of filter that has multiple layers, Cesco referred to just one of those multiple layers.
There's levels to this shit.
There's
straight
up. Oh my God, so many levels. So we have education, knowledge, fact-based filter. And then what about like the BS filter when it comes to opinions of like that people have? So for example, if I saw you in class in the morning and I said, Cesco, I hate the tattoo that you just got. Why the hell did you just do that?
Yo, relax.
Okay, what you know I'm kidding. You
okay. No, I get it. I get
For
it.
the sake of the thing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I say that, and
vegetarian.
All right. Okay. Let's settle down here. Let's settle down.
It's jokes.
Know,
it's jokes.
No, and it's totally jokes. They really think that we're serious, but we're really not.
No, they don't know. They don't think we're serious.
But please, I hope they don't. Anyways, there's a filter of like an interpersonal filter. Of,
empathy?
Could be. It could be
an empathetic filter.
An empathetic filter.
A sympathetic filter.
A combination of both of
like
them.
Like knowing when somebody's coming from like their heart and
right.
like they're being honest or truthful.
Yeah. A communication filter. What's their body language like? Can you read? Oh my gosh, I'm about to get into some deep shit. Can you like picture their energy for a second? The person giving you these negative feedback or like this just not constructive, harmful feedback, and they're like, "Oh, I hate this about you. I don't like this." Right? Can you pick up their vibrations? Like, can you pick up their energy for that day? Can you look at them and say, "Oh, your legs are crossed, your arms are folded, you're in a defense pose, and clearly something's been going on in your personal life, and I'm not going to take what you just said personally."
Yeah, there's another one I saw.
That's a filter. I just said a lot of words, but that's a filter.
Yeah, like when you're talking to somebody, if their foot is pointed away from you, subconsciously they want to leave the conversation.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro. It's like there's so much with body language. I was watching a Dr. Phil thing because it was like the only thing on TV. I don't watch TV, but I was watching it. And it was body language specialists talking about a woman that her daughter was abducted, but they think that she had something to do with it, and like this corn mob or something. Like it was some crazy shit.
Oh wow!
But like they could tell by like the direction of her lip when she cried, the eye contact, her arm positioning, her head positioning, and they were able to like tell that it was bullshit.
Oh wow!
And then when some of that body language went away, it was like, okay, she's speaking her truth. That's her honest opinion.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Like that's another filter, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's an educated filter too, because you need to research that, you need to study that, you need to be an expert on that.
Right. And just to go along what you just said, here's another fact. 60% or close to 60% of communication is nonverbal.
Yeah. Ooh. Yo, in the gym, bro, there's always videos of like gym bros talking to each other with headphones on.
Oh my god.
And they're saying no words, and it's like yeah, I could use this, or like can we work in? Like it's all
pointing fingers,
it's all
nodding
non-verbal.
heads,
Yeah.
flexing muscles at each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's true. It's true. So, but it takes, but again, doesn't it all link back to self-reflection?
It does.
Or reflection of the experience you had?
Reflection in general. Self-reflection being a part of that.
To build those filters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was talking to Dr. Moore about this. Like, literally, if we could just have a truth filter. Doesn't have to be like a bullshit filter or a fact-based filter or anything. Just a truth filter where you can sit in a conversation, listen to somebody, and I said listen and not hear because there's a big difference, and we've talked about that difference, but if you could listen actively, active recall, these kind of things, if you could listen to somebody, look at them in the eye, and see a truth, dude, this world would have zero problems. We would love unconditionally everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Because you'll see the bullshit.
All of it. And 100%. If we really cared, we would separate from our ego a little bit, right? And this actually goes into my next point that I have written down. An egocentric behavior is characterized as a fixed mindset behavior. So if you're egocentric, what is that word? Egocentric. If you're egocentric, those behaviors contribute to a fixed mindset. Because you are attached to your ego, you are realizing that, or you think that nothing else could be true.
You put up walls.
You put up walls. You don't allow others to shape and mold you. You don't allow yourself to have honest, truthful reflection. So
this definitely dives back. Sorry to cut you off. That first almost sentence that I said of like, it's me. Like, you can't focus too much on what other people think of you. But like I said, fine line, because I don't want to contradict myself at all. Like, there is a fine line.
I think when you said it's you were talking about bottom line. Like, and I agreed. Bottom line, end of the day, it is you.
Yeah, I just want to clear that.
Yeah,
I want to clarify that because I don't want people to think like, oh, fuck what everybody else thinks, or like, oh, my dad's not right, my mom's not right.
Exactly.
Or like my close friends, like, screw them. Like, I know better than everybody. There's a fine line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you need to be reflective on it. You need to have a filter of what to take in, what not to take in, what's too much to take in. Don't let your ego take over, because that's when you're just going to be stuck in the same damn place for the rest of your life. Bro, I stress interpersonal relationships. I stress having conversations. Why? Every person that I meet in a PT clinic, I am learning from their experience. I have a growth mindset. I want to walk into every conversation and take one positive thing away from every single person I meet. And in 10 years, if I work on 20 plus people that have MBAs from Columbia or wherever, NY, whatever, like,
God knows what.
Yeah. I'm going to know some shit about business or finance, whatever I said, finance, or a philosophy teacher, how many philosophy teachers I'm going to meet, how many chemistry teachers I'm going to meet. If I have a genuine conversation with these people, there is so much information out there that I could take away from them.
100%. And that's you breaking down your own barrier, your own ego, to allow more intelligence to seep in. Again, you basically just told everybody out there in the world that you have a growth mindset.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not
tying it back.
100%.
And that is why I think you and I and a lot of our other close friends are so successful for where we are right now.
This cohort is insane.
We were talking about this earlier today. Our cohort of seniors at Manhattan College this year, graduating in 2022, is insane. We're going to change the world.
Yeah, that I'm confident.
Let me rephrase. We're going to change our worlds, our own individual worlds. And if we change enough people in our own individual worlds,
that's when you make a bigger change.
That's when you can make and hope for a bigger change across the globe.
100%.
And whether it changes the world or not, we're going to live fulfilled. We're going to live abundantly. We're going to manifest some amazing things. And we're going to be so intentional. We're going to get so intentional.
Just personal.
And personal.
We're going to get so damn personal.
And that right there, I think, is the essence of life. Life, growth mindset, fixed mindset, right?
100%, bro.
I don't know why.
That's why I was putting so much emphasis on it. It's super important. Super important. Like, bro, I was talking about the conversations I was having with people. And that's an outlet for growth. I saw on your page. Read more books. That's another outlet. Read as much as you can.
I used to hate reading.
Bro, I'm not going to cap. I still hate reading. I hate it.
Okay, but what do you read?
I think I have it. What's the ADHD when I can't focus?
Something like that.
Pretty confident I have that.
Okay, so
it's super.
Be careful with diagnosing these things.
No, I know.
But if you want to tell yourself that.
Like a little bit, because like my mind just wanders.
Okay.
Granted, that could be a mindful thing. To practice.
Yeah.
All the deep bullshit aside.
Yeah.
It's really focused to like
deep work.
So like read and like absorb.
Oh, by the way, I just said Deep Work. That's a great book. You all should check it out. Deep Work.
deep work.
Yeah, I'm going to look up the author right now.
What do you know what it's about?
Yeah, fully being present with what you're doing and being intentional over habitual. I haven't gotten through the whole thing, but it's by Cal Newport. Look up Deep Work by Cal Newport. Rules for focused success in a distracted world.
So my perception of a fake ADHD. Maybe I just got to be more present.
Maybe you just got to read this book.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
also, shout out to Cal Newport because this is a crazy, awesome topic.
You just saw live proof of a growth mindset.
True.
Like, I'm accepting
Wow.
that I just lied to myself. Like, I straight up just lied that I have a psychological disease.
I wish we had like one of those things where we can like import like a clapping noise like for all the audience.
Yo,
to,
low
like,
key, I could probably figure that out. If
honestly,
you want
we could try to figure 100%.
it out. But like, I recognized it. Like, I saw my ego was there. It's like, all right, let me take a step back. Let me stop instead of taking a step back. Let me just stop in the moment. And be like,
we talked about.
All
this
right, maybe I'm lying to myself. Maybe it's a little bit hard for me to stay present when I read. Like, maybe it's something to work on.
Yeah.
Something to work on. It's a challenge that I've accepted to work on. I'm probably going to grow now.
Dude, thank yourself right now.
Thank you, Cesco.
Yeah, that was powerful, dude.
Yeah, bro.
That was
You're welcome.
vulnerability. That was awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. We have an audience today.
We do.
This
we
is
have a couple.
exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sweating right now.
You're sweating?
I'm absolutely
is
sweating.
it the lights?
No.
Oh.
No. It's Ryan's piercing eyes.
Oh man. Yeah, reading for me, I think the education system built the idea of reading around memorizing something for the sake of a grade, right? And I was reading like Greek mythology, which now I love, by the way, but when I was reading it back when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, I'm sorry, that's a little early. I was like in high school. When I was reading it back in high school.
Reading Marcus Aurelius
really?
as a 4th grader. Like, imagine.
Right. I like reading this stuff in high school. I hated it because I was doing it for an outcome. But now when I just do it because I love to read and just soak in information and apply it in my daily life, I'm having a conversation with the book. Like as I'm reading, I'm having a conversation with myself and the book at the same time.
Yo, this might be weird, bro, but like when I do read Marcus Aurelius, like I low-key have a vivid image of like him talking to me.
Yeah.
Like I see
my gosh.
I see
about to say
him
that.
speaking his words.
Yes.
And I think that kind of helps me absorb.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy you said that because before I read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, I made sure I watched a lot of David Goggins. So like YouTube videos, Instagram, TikTok, all these things. So when I read the book, I literally had his voice in my mind.
Yeah, bro. Yo,
Shout out to Audible, by the way, and like all these other, like Scribd and all these other really cool.
Those are audiobooks, no?
They're platforms that you can purchase audiobooks.
Yeah, bro. See, I listened to Can't Hurt Me. I think I mentioned this, in the first podcast, actually.
Maybe. Oh, we did talk about it a little bit in the first.
Bro, I was on the Stairmaster, not bawling, but like getting emotional.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
And you hear the voice and you're locked in.
Yeah, but imagine doing that when you're reading.
I see.
Imagine not needing it to be in your ear being spoken to you to get that emotional, to be that present with the book. It's not easy, in my opinion, for me, in my experience.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Listening is a lot like reading is a lot like listening to conversation with people every day. Oh my gosh, like there are so many times where I feel so guilty because I'll be engaged in a conversation with someone and my mind is just totally not focused on what they're saying. And so their mouth is moving and nothing is coming in my brain. It's just, it's not even, you know how they say in one ear and out the other? It wasn't even in that first year. It wasn't in the ear. No, it wasn't even in that first year.
Yeah, I've had those moments. Sorry, Dr. Clementi, but like, we're talking about something. Yo, and I was like proactive.
Dude.
I was proactive in this class. Like answering.
No, yeah.
Getting philosophical, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like, yo, 5 minutes went by And I like rose my head and I was like, yo, bro, math class. You ever look at a board
Dude, stop
and it's like,
it.
where did those
Numbers
like
come from?
18 pages of numbers come from?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah, it happens all the time. ADHD.
Okay. All right. Again, loose diagnosis.
Very loose.
Very loose diagnosis
Very
over here.
loose.
But same thing in reading. We read pages. I read a whole chapter yesterday. A whole chapter.
And you needed to reread it?
And yeah. I didn't need to. I wanted to.
You got to.
I got to. The bone.
Yeah.
Anyways. Wow. But I reread the chapter, and I'm going to be honest, I was a little frustrated at myself. It was a little tough mentally because I finished the chapter and I was like, wait a minute. I had this moment of like, wait, I just finished this chapter and there's not one takeaway that I got. Not one. And I reread like the first couple pages and I'm like, oh.
I get pissed.
So pissed.
Because it's like, yo, I'm 5 pages through this chapter and it's like, I'm thinking about what mom's making for dinner.
Right.
And I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Like, I just wasted.
Is that a sign to stop?
No, it's a sign to pick up a highlighter and actually focus. I get tight.
Your
bro.
highlighters are crucial.
I get tight. But like, yo, when my focus is intentional, it's completely different. We went to Pennsylvania. They were like, Gabby and her sister were doing homework, and I was reading. I think, this is when I saw a quote on Instagram, and then I read it in the book the next day. So it was like crazy. And I showed you on Monday. But like, I was super intentional because I knew I had to focus because like there was like external like
white
factors
noise
around me.
Oh yeah.
No, like yeah, because there were people around
yeah,
me.
there is.
So I'm the person that's gonna start a conversation.
Right.
So I was like, all right, shut up, focus, lock in. And like I was not the first time, but like one of the times I was able to be like, yo, this chapter is crazy during the chapter. And after that I had so many takeaways and it was dope. Highlighter, 100% the highlighter. But it was the intentional focus.
Intentional focus is sick. Now,
Flow.
I just had a flow.
Flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably in the state of flow. Tunnel vision.
Time didn't exist.
Yeah.
Locked
100%.
in.
Yeah.
Didn't hear much. Yeah. Flow.
Nothing around you.
Nothing.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
I just had a thought.
What's up?
Part of the filter we talked about earlier, what if we just had like a highlighter? Like a part of our brain that served as a highlighter. That when we were having conversations with people, we could just highlight certain things. And then when it's our turn to speak, we can reference that highlighted page or highlight those highlighted sections and be like, ooh, like let's dissect this, and this. Because these are the 3 takeaways I got from what you just said. Like, what a skill that would be to develop.
Bro, but that skill is being present with the conversation. Because all the highlighter does is facilitates mindfulness when you're reading. It allows your focus to be intentional because you're looking for something to highlight. So when you're bring it outside of reading, when you're having a conversation, be intentional of like listening to the words.
Listening to listen and not listening to hear.
Yeah, and like focus on everything they're saying. Like the context, where they're coming from, their perspective on things. And I think that's when you're going to subconsciously highlight.
Dude, what if everyone just did that? Everybody just did that all the time.
Connectedness would be through the roof.
I think we would realize that we're all one.
One with one, bro.
One with one.
We're all the same.
Next week's podcast episode.
Ooh, that's going to be tough. No, I'm cutting you off.
Oh, cut me off.
We're having a guest. Next podcast.
Oh, we are having a guest.
I'm saying it. We're doing it.
Okay.
Gabe Castillo. He'll be on this podcast.
Gabe Castillo.
I don't care how much I drive myself insane to figure everything out and how to edit and whatever. We're going to make it happen. Monday.
All right.
This is the first time you're hearing this. Write it down.
Right. Well, I think I also had a thought.
It's time.
It is time to have a guest.
It's time.
It is. And I had the same thought. I got ahead of myself. I'm not going to lie.
We'll run it back.
Full vulnerability. Full vulnerability.
100%.
I got ahead of myself right there. I'm acknowledging that I got ahead of myself. I'm acknowledging that I probably should have stopped, taken a step back, and realized that I also had the same thought earlier this week. And who knows? Maybe we'll wind up talking about it anyways. But
Gabe
Castillo.
Gabe, coming for you, bro. Yo, honestly, bro, this podcast isn't even going to be out. It's not even going to be out but until he'll be on it before this is out.
Doesn't matter.
I know, but like to hear his name shout out, he'll be like, "Oh,
that'd be
excited."
sick.
I'll
Yeah,
probably
let's
send him
just
this
send him
clip.
this part.
I'll send him
Yeah.
this clip.
Well, to everyone else who listened tonight, thank you, because this was a cool conversation.
Yeah, this was dope. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Let's strive to have a growth mindset.
Lock it in.
Great things will happen. Gotta drop it. Show some love. Show some likes. Watch the audio. Watch the visual. We're getting there. We're getting there. I want to pop off.
We are popping off.
We are. The B.O.N.E.
Yeah.
We talked.
Yeah, we did, man.
You just got a taste of the B.O.N.E.